You're watching ABC7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. The Rolling Green Golf Club in Sarasota has been challenging golfers for 55 years, but the company that just bought it now has a new vision for that property.
Despite denying development plans recently, the new owner has just filed paperwork to build nearly 600 homes that will replace that golf course. ABC7's Taylor Torregano joins us live tonight on the golf course with more on neighbors' reactions. Taylor?
Jacqueline, Scott, this is just one of the many challenging par 3 holes this course is known for. But there's homes just steps away from here, and neighbors today are up in arms about the possibility that this greenery could soon be replaced with concrete and construction. A steady stream of golfers took their swings at each hole on the Rolling Green golf course, but stopped at the thought that they would no longer be able to enjoy their Tuesdays here.
I don't like it. Oh, I want to keep it as a beautiful golf course. It's so nice, wide open, and it's challenged, but it's still fun.
The 139-acre green was just bought by Merriwater Golf LLC, who just announced new plans to turn it into 599 housing units. But the neighbors aren't happy, showing in numbers to this meeting Monday night to discuss the new development.
This is my property line right there behind the little bush. That would mean 15 feet from there and then a little setback, there's a 2-story townhome. I mean, you can just imagine what that would do to our home value. And you better don't ask me how I feel, because I might just start crying.
A loved greenery, but it's not just about the nature.
When we have a lot of rain, a lot of the rain collects on the golf course and it looks like a lakefront. And my concern is the flooding. What's going to happen?
And for neighbors living on the other end of the course, the biggest concern is traffic.
Adding 600 homes, potentially 1,200 vehicles, and they're looking at one entrance from the new development that will come out at the same place our entrance is.
Residents living here at the Winds tell me it already takes a good 10 to 15 minutes to turn from here onto Tuttle Avenue during rush hour. They say they're concerned this new development will only make that worse.
You run into a parking lot. The reason I moved to Florida is because of the clean air. If I wanted to live in a polluted area, I moved to LA.
Now, we reached out to the owners of this golf course, but have not yet heard back. And neighbors say that they have been promised the opportunity for further public comment, but no set dates, as for now, have been made by the county. I'm live on Rolling Green Golf Course. Taylor Torregano, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, Taylor, thank you. Construction is now underway on a major road project that's blocking a portion of 10th Street in downtown Sarasota. City workers are digging up the road between Central and Coconut Avenues, blocking the westbound lanes. They're installing what's called a nutrient separating baffle box, which will clean stormwater runoff before it flows into Sarasota Bay. That project is just a few hundred yards from the bay. The baffle box installation is the final stage of the 10th Street Boat Basin dredging project. Nearby businesses are hoping that this project doesn't cause much financial fallout.
Despite the construction, we know our regulars will find us, and we'll continue to be open through the fall as the project continues.
The city hopes that project will be complete by this fall.
An update tonight on a Bradenton Beach dock that was damaged by a tropical storm. The floating dock at the historic Bridge Street Pier was destroyed back in 2016. It's now being replaced with the Bradenton Beach Day Dock, which will better serve water taxis. The dock is set to open by 4th of July weekend.
Well, just picture perfect weather today and this evening as well. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our evening forecast. Bob?
Right now, 77 degrees. What's nice, though, is the humidity at 60%. Winds out of the west-northwest at 14. A little bit of a breeze there. And the barometer, 29.93 inches, which is just 1 point above the standard pressure. Evening planner looks like this. Just a spectacular 70 degrees now by 11 o'clock. But it won't be that warm, won't feel that warm because that lower humidity around. So it should be really nice to start things off, too, on Wednesday morning. Well, the Titan radar picture showing some pretty big storms now down near West Palm Beach, pushing off to the east away from us, associated with that cold front, which did bring us some rainfall during the overnight hours. In the early morning hours, we saw some showers and even a few thunderstorms around. 78 now in Jacksonville, it's 85 in Orlando, and temperatures a bit warmer in Miami at 89, 82 in Key West. We'll have more on our weather for the rest of the work week. We have a couple of fronts headed our way. Not big ones, but they'll bring some clouds. Details on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Bob. We'll talk to you soon. The city of Venice could be going on a hiring binge.
Today, the city manager received approval to hire 4 new employees for the Public Works Department, and more hires could be on the way for the Parks Department in the city as well. ABC7's Christopher Bradley joins us live tonight with more on the story. Christopher?
Good evening, guys. With new staff comes the need to pay them. And so the question naturally is, where's the money? And city taxpayers may not be happy with the answer. In their Tuesday meeting, Venice City Council members expressed some concerns about bringing on more staff.
More than a little concerned about the cost to the taxpayers.
That's because the money for new employees will need to come from somewhere.
We are going to have to spend more money because we're growing as a city. But I'm not really sure where all this money is coming from.
Upwards of 11 new employees are being requested. 4 are in the Public Works Department and would handle cleaning and maintenance of city buildings. Previously, the city contracted out cleaning to the tune of $60,000 a year.
What we really need is something that incorporates proactive work, some troubleshooting, preventive maintenance.
These new employees would cost roughly $85,000 for the rest of this year and about $206,000 annually. For the local parks, 7 more employees could be hired depending on the outcome of negotiations between the city and county on splitting up services for certain parks.
We haven't had a parks team working on those particular parks for more than 2 decades.
The money for all of these new employees could mean an increase in the millage rate for taxpayers.
Increased workforce is probably going to increase the millage rate.
That possible increase may not be popular, but according to Councilman Fraze, it may be necessary.
I would really like not to have to do that, but to run the city and give people the services that they demand, the money has to come from someplace.
Now, as for that millage rate, the city manager at LaValle told us today any raise in that wouldn't happen until typically they're expecting it to happen in the year 2020. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Christopher, thank you. Happening in Florida, a commission tasked with investigating government actions surrounding the Parkland massacre and the state's other mass shootings, holding its first meeting this morning. The commission learning faulty classroom designs and police radios, as well as 911 systems, contributed to the chaos and possibly to some of the 17 deaths. Teachers could not lock their classroom doors from the inside. As they tried to lock down their students, they had to open the doors and then use a key to lock them from the outside. Broward Sheriff's radios were not on the same channel as Coral Springs Police, the 2 primary agencies that responded. Attempts to merge the radio channels failed, preventing the 2 departments from sharing any information. And the U.S. Department of Justice is sending $1 million to help with the cost of law enforcement officers and other emergency workers involved in the response to that deadly shooting. Governor Scott was seeking the money to reimburse the state and the communities faced with the aftermath of the mass shooting. The grant will also cover some of the overtime pay costs, with 18 agencies involved in that response.
Attorneys for the accused Seminole Heights serial killer are asking that his mental health be evaluated by specialists. Hal Donaldson's attorneys filed a motion saying they believe their client suffers from mental health issues, meaning he may not be able to understand the charges or legal process and cannot act appropriately in a courtroom. Donaldson is accused of murdering 4 people in the Seminole Heights neighborhood in Tampa last fall. If he is found incompetent, he could be sent to the state hospital and would delay the case for at least 6 months. An update now on former President George H.W. Bush. He has been in intensive care since Sunday morning, the day after his beloved wife, Barbara, was laid to rest. A family spokesman says Bush has since been stabilized and is awake, alert, and talking today. The 93-year-old was admitted to the hospital after contracting an infection that spread to his blood. According to the spokesman, Bush has said he is determined to get healthy and return to the family home in Maine this summer.
Sounds encouraging. Yeah. Tired of worrying about someone stealing a package off of your porch?
Well, now Amazon has another delivery option where you can get your items dropped off straight ahead.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been arrested in the state of Florida, the state attorney's office is already working on your prosecution. It's time to work on your defense. So give us a call. We've got your back.
Get to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota for big savings during the spring sales event. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $23,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota today.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hey kids, come learn baseball from the pros. The Bradenton Marauders are hosting Baseball Camp on June 5th, 6th, and 7th at Lecom Park. Boys and girls ages 6 to 14 will learn the fundamentals of hitting, pitching, and fielding from Marauders coaches and players at Lecom Park. Your camp fee includes a t-shirt, lunch daily, and one ticket to the Marauders games on these nights. To sign up, go to BradentonMarauders.com by May 14th. Sponsored by ABC7, your Suncoast News.
You are like no other. So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati of Sarasota.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Are your children getting enough exercise? The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has some recommendations. Tonight, Breed Binion breaks them down for us.
Fitness is important for the entire family. The CDC recommends that children and adolescents get at least an hour of physical activity each day. The CDC says children should be involved in some form of muscle and bone strengthening at least 3 days a week. These activities could include gymnastics, jumping rope, running, or even climbing. If the child has a chronic disease or disability, the CDC suggests talking with a doctor to determine the best physical activity routine. Make exercise fun and find a way to get your kids motivated and off the couch. Plan a scenic run or walk, play a sport together, or come up with a family competition. Child and teen obesity has more than tripled in the U.S. since the 1970s, according to the CDC, which makes exercise and a balanced diet more important than ever. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, a beautiful afternoon after some clouds around this morning associated with that cold front. You see how everything kind of cleared out here pretty quickly by the 2 o'clock hour, and high pressure slowly building back in. That means we'll see fair skies tonight. Should be very comfortable out there with very low humidity around. Well, that futurecast continues to show this large spinning low pressure system move off to the northeast. Now, associated with it, there's a frontal boundary that stretches all the way down into Florida, South Florida that is, and you can see that front slowly sinking to the southeast. We're looking at generally fair skies here as high pressure builds back in behind this front slowly as this takes off toward the northern New England states, and you can see that we'll get more of an easterly wind flow too. That'll have a tendency to warm us up a little bit as we approach the weekend. But then here comes a front. Another front is on its way. It's a weak cold front, as they typically are this time of year. They don't have a lot of energy associated with them, and the cold air behind it isn't all that cold, but it will be enough to cause some showers and storms to break out in Louisiana, Mississippi, and into Alabama. It looks like on into Thursday. You see that front weakening as it approaches the Gulf of Mexico. It will continue to move off in our direction. Should be here on Friday, bringing with it a slight chance just for a few showers. Now, temperatures expected to be quite mild tomorrow in the beaches into the mid-70s to upper 70s there. Inland areas will be right around 79, 80 degrees. Currently it's 77, and the humidity, nice out there, 60%. Winds are out of the west-northwest at 14. The high today managed to get to 79, 71 was the low, and 82 is the normal. We should be close to 82 again, looks like, as before the front arrives on Thursday. Well, there goes the low as it travels toward again, New York and Pennsylvania. It's going to bring some heavy rainfall there as it draws moisture in from the Atlantic there, wrapping around, and the winds behind it out of the west-northwest, and those are the winds that we're getting right now. Here comes that system, and what happens as it moves over the mountains there, it gets a little more spin to it, so it will intensify this area of low pressure, and that will develop a cold front and bring us some cloudiness, I think, on Friday. Right now, the satellite and radar picture showing some pretty big storms that happened overnight across west central Florida. Those storms now well to the east of our area and just starting to move offshore of West Palm Beach. They're going to get some snowfall again in the central Rockies as a result of that storm system now developing and pushing off to the southeast. There's the snow, some freezing rain over the panhandle of Texas. Not a lot of rough weather anticipated, at least throughout the day tomorrow. But then once it gets to the lower Mississippi Valley, we could see some heavier storms there approaching the southeast. But for us, just a thin line of showers, it looks like again, and that'll be on Friday. In the midday and afternoon, a chance for a few showers. That rain chance still very small for us. Well, for boaters, tomorrow looks good. Seas will be running 2 feet or less. A light chop on the bays and inland waters. Winds out of the northwest at 10 knots. And as far as the extended forecast goes, well, 79 your highs, slightly below average on Thursday. 82, pretty close to it on Friday. The front starts to move in on an early Friday, but a slight chance for a few showers only. Same thing on Friday night. Saturday morning, there's a chance for showers. Another weak front, reinforcing one, moves in behind it. Temperatures do not cool all much behind it. 64 for your low on Sunday morning. Should be a nice start to Sunday. And then notice sunshine through Tuesday and warmer temperatures still into the mid-80s. And I looked at the long-range forecast. We'll show you to at 6. Continuing to show a lot of warmth headed our way throughout late next week. Well, more on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Time now to check your First Alert traffic for the drive home. We are seeing some backups in Bradenton this evening around the intersection of Cortez Road and US 41, as well as the intersection of Cortez and State Road 70. Well, Amazon is changing the shopping game once again. The retail giant is unveiling its new in-car delivery. Here's how it works. You place an order on Amazon and then select the in-car shipping option. The delivery person then arrives and scans your package, which automatically sends a signal through the cloud to unlock your car. The delivery person then puts the package inside your car. Once the package is in your car, the driver must swipe their delivery app to lock your trunk before moving on to their next stop.
What Amazon has done is that they have integrated themselves so much into that Amazon customer's life that this is just one more step to make it easy to get their products.
Well, customers get notifications every step of the way and then can choose to block delivery up until the package is in your car. The service launches today in 37 cities, including right here in Sarasota. It is currently compatible with any 2015 or newer connected Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, or Volvo vehicles. It is free for Amazon's Prime members. Interesting.
A Florida airline is growing. Silver Airways is buying the Caribbean's largest regional airline called Seabourn Airlines. Seabourn will still operate as a standalone subsidiary until the airlines merge next year. It will also continue to serve 12 airports, including those in Puerto Rico and other nearby islands. Silver Airways will then operate 31 planes as a result of this merger. And apparently there's an art to buying plane tickets. Cheapair.com crunched some numbers for an airfare study. The website found there's no real difference when you buy a ticket, but when you fly does make a difference. You can get cheaper flights if you travel on a Tuesday or Wednesday. The most expensive day of the week to fly is Sunday. Opting for a Wednesday flight over Sunday will save you about $76 a ticket. Another finding, the best time to buy a flight last year, 70 days in advance of your flight.
Information to know. Well, if you have popsicles in your freezer, you may want to double check them. The Ziegenfelder Company is voluntarily recalling about 3,000 cases of Budget Saver Cherry Pineapple Monster Pops and sugar-free Twin Pops. The FDA says the pops may be contaminated with listeria. They were sold in 15 states, including here in Florida, from April 5th through April 19th. Luckily, no illnesses have been reported.
Entertainment news is coming up next.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today. And named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos. To use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG, and Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $239 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC7.
Happening right now, a major slowdown on I-75.
Behind me, traffic is just completely bumper to bumper. Take alternate routes this morning.
Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. on ABC7.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
In entertainment news tonight, she's best known for her role on the TV series Smallville, but now actress Allison Mack is facing federal charges for involvement in an alleged secret society.
ABC's Danya Backus has the latest.
Tuesday, Allison Mack in federal court for a bail hearing, facing sex trafficking charges after being accused of helping to recruit women as alleged slaves for a secret sorority within an organization called NXIVM based out of Albany, New York. The television actress, best known for playing the best friend of a young Superman on Smallville.
I don't know why we just don't call the police.
The same reason why I didn't just take you to the hospital.
Is being charged along with this man, Keith Raniere, founder of NXIVM, of charges including sex trafficking and forced labor conspiracy. According to court documents, the indictment says both Mack and Raniere knowingly and intentionally conspired to recruit, entice, harbor, patronize, and solicit persons, and adds they engaged in such acts knowing that means of force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion would be used to cause such persons to engage in one or more commercial sex acts. Mack has pleaded not guilty. Documents also show Mack is in talks with U.S. attorneys for plea negotiations.
They must be talking to her about testifying against him. That's the way you do it. You work your way up in an organization like this. And remember, they think that she was a very senior member of this organization.
In a letter posted last fall on NXIVM's website, Raniere said, "There is no merit to the allegations that we are abusing, coercing, or harming individuals. These allegations are most disturbing to me as nonviolence is one of my most important values." He also said the sorority is not a part of NXIVM and I'm not associated with the group. Mack will be released on a $5 million bond and placed on home detention with electronic monitoring. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Bill Cosby's defense team is presenting closing arguments in the comedian's sexual assault trial. Cosby's charged with drugging and molesting a woman in 2004. He claims the sex was consensual. Cosby's wife, Camille, was in the courtroom today for the first time during this trial.
The family of superstar Prince is filing a wrongful death lawsuit against a couple of Walgreens stores and their pharmacists in Minnesota. The family has also filed suits against various medical centers, basically saying Prince died because they didn't do their jobs and that the signs were there that Prince was in trouble and doctors and pharmacies could have done something. The suit also asks for a minimum of $150,000.
Well, Bowie's back on the big screen. Labyrinth, a 1986 fantasy from Jim Henson and George Lucas, starring David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly, returns to nearly 700 theaters for 3 days. This Sunday and May 1st and 2nd. Fans are encouraged to attend the screenings in costume, but you have to check the rules at your local theater first. The Regal Hollywood Stadium 11 Theater on Main Street in Sarasota is participating in those showings.
I really am liking a lot of these local cinemas that are bringing back some of those older movies for these small showings.
And you get to see them again on the big screen,
right.
which
That's
is the
always
neat
cool.
thing. Yeah. We'll be right back with more news.